right, everybody, let's get it for a giveaway Thursday. And the first two people that were in, first one that Tony Torres, you win the gold membership, and then Timothy, you get the volume 3. So you guys have to go jump over to harmonictrader.com and become a basic member. And then once you're a basic member, connect on the Discord. Miss Stephanie's in there. Send her your info, and then we'll hook you up. We'll send you the book. We'll give you access to the gold membership. So check that out. Where did that go? Hey, we're missing the webinars. Oh, no, it's just slow to load. Okay, folks, what's going on, chat? Great to see everybody. Happy Thursday to everyone. And we're here Tuesday, Thursday, 12 noon Eastern, talking harmonic patterns, drinking coffee. Let's go get it. What's up, Victoria, Mr. Lodak, Frasho, Gar, David V, and Miss Stephanie, If Lies It Dies, Mr. Kennedy. What's going on? Joseph, everybody else, Melissa, Cathago, guys, great to see everybody back. And we need to talk about interest rates. We need to talk about the type 2 on the daily 10-year that we're at target 2 now. So this is something that we have been following for a while, and this is going to be really the focus probably going into the end of the month. 10-year yield over 4, now hit 408. Target 2 off of that type 2 was 406. That is hit today. Any confirmation? Anybody see any confirmation up here for a bearish anything? Heck no. So these are facts. These are really some firm readings that until you could get a larger signal of, say, HSI hitting an inflection rolling over, there's nothing stopping that. And the other clue here on the daily, right there, you know, expanding amplified RSI takes you higher. You're 71.53. This is where you kind of look for a serial day-over-day breakout. And that's going to present some issues that now goes to a different character. And this is where it really matters. Oh, 1 second. Bring it back on here. Let's get you back. Okay, thanks. This is where it matters. Above 406. And so it's today and every day going forward. Your interest rate acceleration possibility increases. Where can we go? I've always said when you blow out a certain number, it's not blown out just yet, but tell me what's happening here. No confirmation and we're expanding. So I'm just trying to throw some possibilities of how to look at this move, how high, you know, where is this really going to go? Because until you get an HSI arrow, a yellow dot, this trend is intact. And the fact that we're now at 406, okay, and if we break through this, and I'm talking the next few days, but it's now time to watch. You should see an acceleration. If that's really going to get going, we accelerate probably into next week through there. And that does a number on equities for now. Because what happened, we were here Tuesday on the SPY saying, hey, we need 2 days. It was bullish when we were in here on Tuesday. And it finished bearish. We checked back, but go to the SPY chart. We were here at target 2. Target 1 off the type 1 reaction of the ABCD. First confirmation we've seen since this reaction off yellow dot. Well, you can't even print one candle. There was the check back Tuesday. Yesterday, red candle. Oh, great. New lows on the morning. And you're trying to be bullish right now, but I don't have much faith in that staying bullish today. The open 392.68 on the SPY. Okay, you would need to close. You're over a point above that, but again, if we get into these patterns of rolling over, up early in the morning, finishing down in the afternoon, you got my attention. And much like the interest rate chart, if you're concerned about a breakdown acceleration, it's under 386. And you need to take out that downtrend line. We talked about the possibility of when is this going to check back, go back, retest the ABCD, and then go down. Because that would be a 2 of 2 of the ABCD. Another retest here. We do have HSI, where I said this on Tuesday, that we're looking for this reaction to end, but not a single bullish candle in 2 days. Talk to me, this afternoon. Is this going to fall apart here? I don't want to connect directly interest rates and S&P 500, but we need to start looking at that rate chart for something more than a standard type 2. If it's a full continuation reversal, it's going to accelerate in the next week. That does not, again, for everything, for a risk on anything, that's going to be a challenge. That's why it's close. So I still want everybody thinking, and as I said, every move up, down, still reaction. Everything's still a reaction. A lot of people saying, hey, this is a really choppy environment. It is. It's a very choppy environment. And you look at your candles on the SPY, just go back last 7-8 days. Okay, several attempts each day to be bullish, but you're down 6 of the 8. And since the February peak, it's been a steady rollover down to that target one. 417, 398 is the number on the low side that we've been looking at. Only question I have is, are we going to continue on this path? All right, because I think one more bearish day, and you do. Your S&P's futures off 11. Nasdaq's off 55. It doesn't even matter how much. It's just, is it a bearish or bullish close? Because the bigger move is yet to come. Can we get the return from here? Can this stay bullish? Because they tried to drop it on the open. Or is this going to do something where you kick up to the higher time frame? Again, comparing S&P and 10-year or 2-year. I mean, the 2 years even worse, but the 10 years got the pattern. What we have to do when your time frame blows out obvious targets. So if we're going to sail through 406, and today, literally today, this morning, just a few hours ago, it's a major event for rates to hit target 2. Is this going to be a full-on continuation move? Because that's where off the 2 of 2 should start if it's more than just a measured target 2. Of course, there's no confirmation there. There has not been anything yet off of this secondary move since the last yellow dot. And it gave you a number of attempts here to try to take out those lows. There was 1 or 2 more times I was like, that's really close. If that closed under the lows, you would have failure, but it held. It held. And again, acceleration becomes here above target 2. You have to go to the higher time frame. That's also something I think people, sometimes you get turned around on, like, what's going on? How do I judge that once you're taking out levels? Tell me what's going on. Say, if you're on a daily and it blows out levels, tell me what the next set is on the weekly. Again, a 406 is the number. Close above 406 and you sail it for a check back to 428, 430. And I mean now, probably sooner than people thought. Something I want to show I think I've showed this before, But now I really want to pay attention to it because there's a number of different long-term structures at these lows, and you're hitting some targets right now off those lows where you're really in between. I mean, it's a real close call here, but if you go any further or you push up into new highs, it's going to be a substantial breakout. There in the monthly, you have that ABCD. On the quarterly chart, this is the one I wanted to show. So this is how serious and long-term we're talking. This is like crypto. It just took 4 decades instead of 4 years. 10-year yield, how's that for a broken down trend? Okay. One of the reasons why you're doing what you're doing is because of that. Really, you've made a lot of progress since that downtrend. So this is what's at stake and what I would expect. Really kicking up to the super long-term time frame is just go off of your quarterly ranges. And last quarter, end of last year, that prior high was 433. So again, just get these numbers in your head, especially if you're not following the rates day over day. If you hear this 10-year above 433, that's a big move. And there's, again, acceleration beyond this point. We'll get the close at the end of the quarter, end of the month, the quarterly close. Here's the 2-year yield, which is continues, just the inversion's insane. I would look at just simply the fact that this is pushing to new highs for the move. That's the key takeaway. Go to the daily. There you go. And on this chart, let me show the weekly because that was the big 1618 extension. There's the full retest of the 1618. Looks like this. And that exact 1618 was the temporary pause point last year. And we're back here on the retest. So what I want to know is what happens beyond literally today. Because even in a little micro thrust, 1618 continuation, or even if it was a, let's say this was a topping formation. That little 1618 extension takes you to 550. That would have to be some kind of divergence there. Is there on a long term? This is weekly. Hold on. What happened here? There you go. Not until HSI rolls over. So this thing continues to break out at a point where you're retesting the big 1618. Again, the fact that we make new highs, pushing the new highs today, is the starting point, not an ending point. Nothing yet. There's no confirmation, and actually the 10-year yield is a bigger deal than the 2-year, although everyone is focused on the 2-year. So what does that mean for everything else? We're dealing with something more here. You guys know I've been struggling with that. You guys know I've been like really saying, what the heck's going on? Well, I think what's going on is we're going to have a retest. So it's not what I want to like to see. I thought we'd have a check back or better confirmation. There are the cues on the weekly. And this is clearly not continuing off of that. Even if we do a steady primary, that's what a primary uptrend looks like. This thing should have been already turning around. That's a weekly chart. So 311.54, if that was it from 2 weeks ago, there's HSI. What can we expect from here? Go week over week. Whatever this week's close is. Last week was the first 3-bar breakdown. No, my fault. It was the other chart. That was 3-bar. We have yet to have a 3-bar breakdown off this recent test. And that would cinch it. So a close under this week's low, you go tomorrow, Q's under 290, you're done for now. You're done. Whether or not that retest holds, we'll take it. But I'll say full type 2 return, because those are some of the elements where we know the reactions, first thrust, whatever phases are short-lived. Hit targets like to get rejected. Prefer to have some kind of confirmation, but sometimes once you break the trend line, that sets it off, and you'll see it in a 3-bar violation. In the same way you saw that 3-bar violation on the retest. Here's the initial terminal bar, but where do we first break out? Okay, there's a breakout, like a 3-bar breakout, 1, 2, 3. No follow through. The second one on the retest there, but both of them had some follow through. All I'm saying is you break down, close tomorrow under 290, folks, and you're 289.79 right now. Then going into next week, and by Tuesday, I'll say, all right, play the retest, get into it and play the retest. And there's a huge gap to shoot. And I've been saying that if this is rolling over and it triggers the acceleration where we go serial bar over bar, we'll see the breakdown. And usually it's that combination trendline violation 3-bar breakdown. Keep an eye on that. That's why the laser focus, I keep saying, of day over day, you need to do something now. Here's the shark on the daily, much like the ABCD pattern we saw on the SPY. All right, this is trying to print a second bullish bar. The yellow is printing, okay, but only if the close today remains bullish. So we opened 288.66. We're about a 0.30 above that, 289, call it 290 right now. Okay, then you would get a yellow dot off of this check back and first spot for the reaction. We didn't hit target 1 though. And for the Qs, just last session, I'm saying, look, if you wanted to have this market really collapse, do the type 2 on the shark. Same thing on the SPY, although that's a smaller pattern structure, ABCD. But that's still the framework at hand. And that's why we'll really, tomorrow's close, Friday's close. Anything under 283 as well next week. Just be aware of it. Be aware if this thing cannot stabilize. Here, if you can't even finish a dot today, and you got plenty of time. I mean, you got 3.5 hours really to stay negative or worse. That's important stuff. And again, I think it's a character of the market, the acceleration of it. And you have a lot of this also in crypto where it's shaping up for the type 2 returns. Yeah, I think we've got this. Look, I'm not so worried about big rising rates. I'm just worried about the initial reaction. Market won't take the rising rates. Their first inclination will be to sell. And if we're going to come back and sell against the current environment, and people will say, all right, yeah, I'm going to go jump on 5% 2-year yields. And then I'll come back in, 2025. Now there's 2-year yield daily. We do have a dot. I mean, even on the daily, look, there's an HSI signal. There's a yellow dot, second bearish candle. What do? You break out. I would be looking for a big candle to come. And that would definitely seal the deal on the larger breakout for 2-year. And again, if this is a big 1618, it's not generating a shark. I mean, you could kind of trace this out, but clearly The only possibility, if you're looking at that formation, this retest as being a failure, maybe some kind of a shark, but it cannot go any higher. You would need to see this be a failed breakout attempt, and with hitting the target on the 10-year yield, which has been the primary pattern I think we have since really March or last April, we've been looking at this. 406, folks. Let's see where that finishes up. And then it's just, you go back risk off for a while. Take a look at the VIX. The VIX has been bleeding all year and even rolling over today, last few days, despite the breakdown, I think. Probably just come back down into the zone here. I mean, the VIX isn't quite a problem just yet. If we're looking at independently on if the VIX was going to turn up bullish, it would be after some kind of retest probably of HSI. The fact that HSI is trending down suggests VIX will continue to lag in this zone between hop level at 1730 and 21 on the top end. Couple more related markets before I get into crypto, and I think the critical one is nat gas. And we've been looking for nat gas to give you one weekly bullish candle, maybe even one daily. But there you go. There's the dot. We got a dot last week, and you had some follow through. That's more the response you want to see after you get a dot. Why nat gas? Because look, interest rates are really what's killing that trade. And if rates are going to spike, nat gas will go well under 2. I think right now you're looking at a major defense of $2. Anything under $2 is getting bought. But go to the big chart for harmonic pattern purposes. Okay, software is kicking out this major deal. Come on. Where'd it go? Oh, let me go to UNG. It's on the UNG monthly, where it's a cycle retest, a type 2. Hold on. Go to the weekly there. There it is. Okay. So it's this deep crab on UNG. And it's what we have been talking about for a long time. We had some shots. Literally, we're looking at $18 at UNG, and it failed that area. And since about 16, we just said get out of the way. We were looking for that. Clearly failed once we violated the dot. That was around 15. Now, weekly, last week, and again, if you get a second bullish candle this week, another one, that would set it off. And you're looking for some kind of 3-bar breakdown against this this range of the last month. Anywhere really above 9 on UNG, but it's still early on that. I think this would come back, retest another time. If rates are going to spike today into next week, watch it now. Really watch it now. You're at that point where wherever it breaks, that will be the action going into the next couple of months, 2 months. Laser D, you're right. Laser D is saying it's oversold, but you still think it's early. I think it's still a little early too. It's close. It's really close, and it's not a bad idea to be thinking that with nat gas and everything that's going on down here, but it's close. Let's watch this into Tuesday for sure. I'm more focused on literally that 10-year yield chart and today's close, because that was today. And you break it down on a 4-hour chart. You look at that 4-hour, there's nothing there. Nothing that's stopping that. There's no even a short-term pattern that looks like clearly that shark failed. The prior high goodbye. Check it out on a 4-hour time frame. See how it gets annihilated. That's a continuation. How to play it? Is this a possibility going forward? Go to the SQQQ looking for something for the Qs. 4-hour time frame is a little, what's that, bearish bat off the low, but let me remove this. We do have a bat pattern, $32. Counter trend HSI right now, but I'll pay attention to this. Look, we did get a yellow dot right there around the 9th at 34. This vehicle is kind of like options. It's like that boil. Market has to trend directly, but that could spell a type 1 reaction up to 46 on the SQQQ. Couple of thoughts. Tesla got whacked today, and a lot of people are drawing lines like this on Tesla. And I understand, calling that bear flag right there. And where could that come back to? Minimum, you do a Fibonacci 382, the old 382 trailing stop. Okay, put you there, 171. That's possible. That range busted to the downside. Look at the 3 yellow dots as well. We never got to check out the weekly target. So we did generate an HSI. We're trying to come out of the zone now. This is why tomorrow's close is, really critical, because at a minimum, it's going to cap the action. Then you're going to go into consolidation where you don't even want to do that. But that's what will happen, and it'll be a pretty muted March. It'll be a muted March where that favors the sell side. And that's it. Before I jump to crypto as well, I do need to look at these European indices. A lot of talk there. Germany, UK. Well, here's UK. That's a weekly bat, double dot. And it's a type 2. Check it out. It's really shrunk down, but there's the perfect type 1. 67.20. Oh, let's get out of there. And then come back down. So that yellow dot triggered, 2-3 weeks ago? Only thing I'm looking for on this is a 3-bar breakdown. So we're in that vicinity. Notice how it has yet to kind of show us that move yet, but we should be looking for that development. That's UK. And then EWG was another one caught my eye recently of, where's that? Was it EWG? Maybe it was the Belgium. Come back to that later. But there's been talk about some of those European indices being at all-time highs. And then you look at the patterns. Okay, yeah, Germany was actually a shark, or is a shark. That's the EWG, $28. Looks like a target 1, 24. Where at least at a minimum with, hey, sun icon, sun dot, target 1, 24. So that's for everything that's setting up right now. You've got just a very mixed narrative that's probably just all tied to rates and how people are going to react to rates. And literally after today, that's the macro takeaway. There are other situations I'm monitoring. I mean, Tesla is a standard breakdown. The bigger two, and let me just wrap up with these two big ones, and then we'll jump. Because it'll affect everything, is that if this is Microsoft, Okay, we're going to lose this support here. You're not going to do anything. I want to go to the weekly, the daily. You're not going to, if you don't hold literally today, 245, then you're going to have to kick to a higher time frame. I would think that maybe what this ends up being is a weekly type 1, and that was it. Unfortunately, no confirmation, but the thing that I'm looking for that is threatening, what's different now? The different thing this week is this will be the first 3-bar breakdown that we've seen since hitting target 1, where that's pretty much the last trigger of saying this reaction is over. You're 245. I'd be more concerned about getting from 245 to 212 than I am 263 to 245, because this is the acceleration leg. All happens tomorrow's close, folks, gives you the weekly close, and a lot of these are weekly charts that are setting up in that regard. And others, you know, we'll take it as it comes. But what was there was a, oh, okay, here's the other one. Leave you on the SPY. First of all, is there anything on the SPY right now? 5-minute chart, maybe hit some Friday puts. What do we got? No, we got a little 5-minute HSI on the bullish side right here for a little intraday bounce, but no. Not since, there you go. Let's go back to that. We had a couple patterns last week. Yeah, the bat pattern on 5-minute. And oh, I did want to show this, the 4-hour time frame. Here's the other deal for SPY. And to help reinforce kind of where do you know this thing's going to really fall apart? This pattern, I think it was trying to print a Gartley or a bat a week ago. Regardless, it's this 886 retracement, 398. That's been the number. Tell me what it's doing, because the clock is ticking, and I'll say you fail 390. Okay, the larger scenario is on, and that could be as early as Monday. But here's 30. 30 bars is right there. Tuesday. Put you into Tuesday. And then things, you know, and then we'll take a hard look at bigger possibilities. But here's something I'm going to share with folks. This is a freebie, but soon to be a 3 idea. Look, JP Morgan's getting hit today, but here's the problem that I want to pay attention to. JP Morgan is a shark gone to a 5-0, about ready to print a yellow dot for the week, and you only need one bearish candle. I think with today's close, you're in business, because that, all this telltale signs of a reaction over. 144.16, 144.18, I guess, is the number. And your high was 144.34 3 weeks ago. This is still early, but let me say this again. 3-bar reversal. Notice how we're super bunched up here. I mean, that's really the first sign of kind of a stalling behavior. Now, you need to break the 3-week range, and that's under 138. And then what does that mean? All of that means is that your serial, your bar over bar behavior begins going into a full type 2 retest. 122 minimum, 114 would be the full retest. Look out. Not what I want. I want to see a new bull market. I want to see this thing rage. People don't like bear markets. Traders go away, but it is what it is. If this is going to break down, if we're certainly not breaking out, you're certainly not doing any, wall busting resistance move, breakthrough move that is, going to lead you to some kind of new leg. There you go, crashing crashing everything. Oh, don't knock over Yoda. Hold on. Yoda, stay there. Okay. That's what we're looking at. Things like big deal charts like that on a weekly are at hand. And tomorrow's close on JP Morgan, I'd be looking at it over the weekend. And that's anything under 142. You're trading 140 at the moment. Ziggy saying Goldman Sachs. Yeah, Goldman Sachs was a type 2. And there's the weekly. Look at that Gartley. That Gartley printed all the way back in October this has been a tough one. I have seen this. I thought we would go higher. I thought we'd make a run more like 400. But I'm looking at this one too. Maybe as a sign for other banks. But this is a type 2. It's really difficult. Went to 341. No confirmation on the weekly. But look how this thing is banged. Between that, back to your XA level at 372 even. What is at stake here is really more about your shark from the June low at 288. Nice hop level response. Then a back-to-back pattern, bearish pattern. If that's 2 of 2, then you're early, and this week is a 3-bar breakdown. 1, 2, 3. That gets you going 314, maybe back to 288. You're there. Look. That's why that breakdown this week is so critical. 1, 2, 3. Okay, really last week's low, and then even 4. You close under 334, look out. Because there's nothing but that prior zone under at 288. Keep an eye on all of those. Those are bigger ones. There's many others. And it also makes sense why those defensive plays like Johnson & Johnson, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, why are those setting up? Monthly Goldman Sachs, yeah. I know what's here. Yep. No, we might as well show it to them. Appreciate it. There's monthly Goldman Sachs, and who said that? Zigley. Donal M. Hop level 366. So that's a beautiful chart. I think this is all, you take that from what's going on in interest rates. Because all you need to do is mix the VIX into this cocktail of bear fury, and you will have something that'll be undigestible for the markets. And that's, for me, it's surprising to see the VIX just get, roll over here, but it doesn't mean it can't sprout out of the lows. Again, yeah, there's weekly, but where's the, it was the daily on VIX. What's going on, Mitch Ray? How are you today? How's the move going? Are we catching up this weekend? Let me know. For sure. There's your VIX situation, folks. And it is actually, I am looking down here at the VIX because it's a type 2. Off this prior Gartley from last year. Just saying. I've been saying laser focus. Now it's a daily focus. And by Monday, it's going to be an hourly focus. Because by Tuesday or Wednesday, this thing will be leaking. This thing will be, it'll be failing. If you're lower than you are now, you'll fail. I said this last week, bump stops on the S&P, bump stops on all of it. On all of it, because you go back down and retest. Not that it's going to be a bad thing. It's just going to be a more time thing where longs get crushed. And that shark on the Qs, it's your 289. You'd go as low as 270. A lot of numbers back down there, 270, and then just you're gonna take more time. you need to see that 283 hold. That's your fail number. Under a close under 283, and that becomes more on the Qs. You haven't done really any kind of impressive candle in 8 trading days on the Qs. It's been straight down follow through off of, look, after that gap down here and that gap down out of the zone at 303, that's bearish markdown action. So what does this all mean for crypto and the macro environment? It's not what you want if you want to see a continuation. If you're looking for crypto to do things, we've seen it. Let's go to total. And what is on total? I said this, the trillion mark on Tuesday. We've got to watch really 3-bar ranges. 3-bar ranges, just something that's really been a reliable directional force of what's happened. We have this alternate bat, and that's going to cap it for now. I really think you're getting close because you have stretched out a number of days here without continuing to make progress. You go into next week and you don't go higher. You don't hold that uptrend, and you do a 3-bar breakdown. Just be ready for it. Be prepared that will have consequences. If this was going to go higher, it would be higher now. Same with the SPY. I mean, this just has to do a thing now where, I'm looking the stopwatch saying, okay, you got 48 hours or you're out of here. It's a lot like what happened in December. It's a lot like where we were in December, where it was a make or break, do or die, and it held. Crypto total 3 is really the index of indices that I'm paying attention to. And again, another little 3-bar breakdown. No follow through here since that bat pattern on the daily. You're going to come back and consolidate in the zone more. And it would be something like this, and maybe as low as target 2. The weekly doesn't change. It's still a beautiful chart on the weekly. But you're going to get capped, and you're going to take time where, okay, maybe what they want to do is 30 weeks. Go put it in the hole for 30 weeks and go do your time like that. And 30 weeks out puts you August, end of July, something like that. And we'll wait. We'll be patient. We'll look for a confirmation in this zone, but you're really close to running out of time after this January little first thrust. And that first thrust almost over. Ziggy, great comment. Yeah, I mean, DXY is definitely back to life. Should kind of circle back to it. And it's a spot where, listen, you got time, but you're going to be selling more rallies now. You'll be selling into moves. And this translates to crypto. A lot of the charts we talked about on Tuesday with crypto. And even if Bitcoin is range bound, that's not going to attract money. And here's Bitcoin on the weekly. Let's go to perpetual contract for Binance. Look, we're trying to print a yellow dot off. If we close bearish on the week, you get a yellow dot. First yellow dot since that yellow dot. So that's a big deal. And if that firms up, we close there, then 25,000 is a ceiling for now. Daily time frame, we know there was a couple patterns. I forgot to really get into the shark. Somebody mentioned this to me last week again to bring it up. And I'm okay with that shark, but I would like a lot of these, prefer to see then the reaction get over with, free up all of that overhead supply, if you will, and then come back to a demand zone that makes sense. In that, you get a lot of grind time. Just how it goes. Ethereum's the same way. That would be number 2 on our list. Not pushing over, just not right at that bat pattern. So I'm more interested in this. Just monitoring this uptrend here. Okay, and we break this wedge development. Almost ready to do it. We'll see it in a 3-bar reversal, and you'll see it under 1600. Goes into a delayed type 1, but draw your trend line like that. You go into, I don't know, April. And think about it this way. Listen, the 21st is coming up. I don't want to make too much of this, but the 21st is in 3 weeks, less than 19 days. And we could hold up in this area above 1600 for another 2 weeks or so and still then roll over. But that would represent kind of your spring, I hate to say that, equinox. As we've seen, that would come in right on there, on the 21st. Check out the other prior equinoxes. There's December 21st. There's September 21st, way back, right? Where September, sorry. September 21st is there. So you hit that day where you're at on that day. That's an inflection point, inflection low. The last 2 times it tended to be lows. Selling into it, there's December. We've yet to sell into that. Keep an eye on it. That's how I'm looking at this. Rates are the key. Rates are absolutely the key for these big crypto. Because if rates spike from here, folks, they're not going to go into crypto. They're not. And then you say, okay, more time. You got the Bitcoin halving. They're going to start talking about that because it's going to be like, okay, Bitcoin halving. It's coming up in 1 year from now. And it's going to be projected, and then Bitcoin's going to be $250,000 or whatever, and you're going to start that. I'm just looking for the 3-bar. Whatever the next 3-bar break is, will have great significance. Right now, you're just cracking these. You're just stalling at these big zones with confirmation, and it's a delayed effect, and 30 bars in, let's go. Do it now. If it's gonna fail, you would bust these highs. So do or die. Number 3, Binance Coin. 310 is resistance. Just know that. 230 support. Can't even find it. There it is. It's like that. So, and we've said this one too. What's it doing at 310? It's rolling over. And it's really about this hop level from last year, 330. That bat still valid. And why is it valid is because it's really just about those peaks, those prior peaks off of the low, and this fairly static zone, maybe 255 retest. It makes total sense, by the way. Makes total sense for crypto to consolidate more. Because if you were going to blast it, you would already have done it. And it would have happened over a week ago. It certainly wouldn't be into a 30-bar situation since the inflection like there, and you're not going up anymore. 30 bars since that peak. Tuesday. Amazing. Doesn't seem like it, but yeah. We made that crazy peak in a lot of these almost 30 days ago. Number 4, we keep saying XRP. Maybe this is the time XRP comes back down, does the retest, and gives you the type 2. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing that, all those people that waited on XRP forever? I mean, I understand why. But it then comes after some kind of retest with confirmation. Because certainly that you go dot to dot, bullish dot to bearish dot at the level. 40 was target 1. Your XA level is 32.96. You're 37.5. Why would I not wait for 32.9? I would definitely wait for 32.9. And that seems to be the play. If you waited this long, you can wait more. And you can get to 32.9 and look for confirmation. Until then, it's just not in the right spot. It's not in the right spot. And that's something I think always comes back to a trader's willingness or ability or desire to trade with the market ready to be traded. And that market is not ready to be traded. You want to go long on that? You need some kind of bullish confirmation. XA retest 32.9. That's your opportunity down there or below. So, patience. The final one, we've gone through, if it's Cosmos or Solana or whatever, a lot of them are like this. There's Cosmos. And Cosmos isn't bad, but it's another one, pretty strong type 2 return now. If you really like it, you want the opportunity. The opportunity in the harmonic pattern framework is down here. $9. There it is. That's it. It was a type 1 Gartley to 1386. ... More time to roll over, but you're in return phase. And you're in return phase. This is probably good to look at for S&P and some of those other ones. Look, there's the steady primary uptrend. You violate it, consolidate, fail to go higher, and then really roll over. You're coming back down within the framework. It's, again, $9 on that Cosmos. So that, again, these are all reactions. And reactions they're done. Reaction's over. I'll get to a few of yours. 1 second. Let's talk reactions. Cardano reaction. Done. Weekly or daily? I think that was daily. That was daily. On the right feed. Hold on. There it is. On Binance feed, this is what we've been looking at, 28.4. 28.4. From here, it's 34.7. I don't care. Just been, I probably gave this too much time. I probably should have been talking about end of this reaction a week ago. That's how I feel, honestly. The 3-bar breakdown for me, which is right here from last week, that's when we should have been amping this conversation. I'm amping now. Don't care. I don't care. I'm shutting it all down. I'm turning off crypto Twitter. I'm turning off everything. We're in a type 2 return. And you want an opportunity on Cardano to buy it where it confirms a zone. It's down here. All right. You guys have a few. So someone said HBAR. And HBAR has a big pattern. And HBAR is in one of the spots where I said this Tuesday, wait for these to come down. And HBAR is another one with the daily. Had some patterns. It's a kind of a type 2. Ugly. I think the weekly's the better deal, though. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. And it's still about this bat pattern. But I would look at it, start looking now. I mean, you're 6.7. Okay, low range of that support's around 5, 5.5. 9 resistance for now. You want to take a shot there? It's at 6. And that's a lot like Ren, which did pop. Okay, big patterns here. Get back here, big pattern. There's your big pattern on Ren. And this has bounced around quite a bit on the daily. I mean, you've had a few 50% moves. Like that. Probably hits resistance up here pretty soon. Where's that 4-hour chart? Yeah, there you go. 13. But we've already moved, 9 to 13 back to 9 to 13. Those are substantial moves within the last 2 weeks. And I would continue to expect that to be a zigzag. I imagine the bigger pools of money that are trading crypto, they are totally behind this. And they're not looking for the moon bag. They're looking for pennies. They're looking, hey, if we can size up and capture 2, 3, 4 cents, they're happy, and then they're dumping and forcing it back down within the channel range. That's what's going on here. Your moon case of crypto is 1 in 50. Sure, Ethereum Classic. I like it. I like Ethereum Classic. That has one of the better patterns, no doubt. There you go. 27 was the number. Here you go on the daily. Oh, I know it was. Yeah, it was this. We went back to back, deep crab. Difficult to see that. Haven't got to target 1 even off of this big bat pattern on the daily. Where's confirmation? Nowhere. Not yet. Probably takes more time, and I know this was a weekly chart. Yeah, this is a weekly. This is the weekly butterfly, isn't it? What? I hate this. There it is on Binance Weekly. So it's going to roll back into the zone. You're back at 20. You go back under 20 now. Go back and retest under 20 because that was just a reaction. And until you retest 20 and then you print some. Where's your bullish 3-bar breakout? I mean, the last one that you had was back here and back here, back in January, and there's no follow through after that. 6 weeks, 7 weeks to the right. Crypto recipe for more consolidation. And I would think even back down as low as, say, 14, something like that. A lot of it depends on how we shape up going into next week, even next month, because then you will drag out for another retest if it does not clear. This goes for one of the ones that we have really liked for a while, Chili's. Why isn't this doing anything? It's probably going to come back for another test to 11.5. Had a great move from 11 to 18 on that first move. No follow through. Nothing. So go to the daily time frame. Nothing there. You're rolling back down under. And just so you know, I mean, hey, you could ride through that whole noise. Just don't be surprised to see this come back to 11.5 now. But on the good side, we get a retest. You're going to hit some major patterns that would be 202s, like the Cardano, or here comes Compound. Okay, Compound, 35.71 is your retest of the Gartley in the larger crab zone to the right of the downtrend. Had a great initial reaction. That was a first thrust move off the Gartley. The bigger opportunity is going to be at 35.71 again. Just get ready for it. Really get ready for it, because that would satisfy so many things. And for crypto, with this whole Bitcoin coming in 1 year from basically late March, April with the halving, because everyone's going to be talking about it. We're going to be screaming narrative. That will be the thing that'll carry him through the rest of the year. Now, if price action responds, that's a totally different story. I've looked at the halving thing, and maybe next week I'll go through some of the stuff I've kind of noticed of what happens in the Bitcoin halving 1 year prior to it and then 1 year after it. They're fairly positive gains, but it has to be, you have to make some kind of critical low a little more than 1 year before this. So we're not there yet. And again, treat everything as a reaction. If we treat these as a reaction, Compound's got to come do the retest. But I want that retest. And you can go to some of the select T coins. They're shaping up to do the same dang thing. ICP. Okay. This is a weekly. No, it's a daily bat on data feeds. Here you go. Back-to-back patterns. Bat pattern back at 555. That's the next spot. You're 577. You're almost there. That one and Filecoin, those were the two that just popped last week. And this is exactly what we were saying. Let it go for now, but come on back and retest. That is a, what's that? That's a daily deep crab. Pretty nice. Come back, retest at 640. I know this is Filecoin. Where's the bat pattern on that one, though? Sorry. Yep. Okay. There's the smaller bat. Thank you. Yes, that was on Binance. We have a lot of these. Extension pattern, consolidation, form another retracement pattern to try to hold the support. Type 1 up to 893. Come on back down to 553. So type 1 reaction over. Come on back down. Type 2, 550. That's another buck and change. Thank you, Stephanie. I love that. The T coin, the toilet coin. Why T coin? The toilet is below the S coin. It's something we've talked about here. And what is a T coin again? I say it's under $1 billion market cap in crypto. It's something that's lost 90 to 99% of its total net worth in this bear market. And it is a prime speculation candidate, and that's all it is. And that's all crypto is to me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to trash anybody's crypto business, hopes, futures, values. I'm here as a trader speculating on these prices and cycles. Filecoin, okay, 99% off the all-time high, broke to the right of the downtrend. You've got some support down here with things that we look at around $3. Some resistance at 750. So, okay, be patient with it. We'll get another shot down here. A lot of them have done this. Here's Phantom. Okay, this action that you're seeing now in Phantom, and if you caught this initial move, some people did. That's it for now. You could sit there forever and it goes sideways for 30 weeks. That's what's at stake. Got to trade them. You got to kind of hit it and move. Every time I sit in something, it's I don't immediately aggressively trade the big move, and I try to sit on it, give it back. It happens. You got to take it. When giving it to you, take the spike. Couple more. Here's this KNC. KNC was a weekly. No, I know what it is. It isn't KNC. It's those Metaverse. Keep an eye on these one. Look, beautiful bat pattern. Here's Sandbox. Since generating that HSI, it tried to pop from, it was around 40 cents here up to 90. This will now go sideways to down, and it'd still be okay within that zone, but that's your weekly pattern. Your daily patterns are lower, as low as 62 cents minimum. Sandbox and a few others. Some of those, remember that Fetch AI thing? That really set it off. That AI crypto thing is what set this off. And even that one is starting to get tired. Where's my weekly? Okay, look at that. So here's Fetch AI. Beautiful type 1 reaction. We did feature this. I didn't get in it, but this was, listen, we were looking at this around 7 cents. I had no idea this thing would do the massive move that it did, but we were looking at it down here. Exploded off the bat. This is the poster child, but ran right into 55.8. As nice of a reaction that's all it is. We have an HSI check back. These are all, that red arrow, all these things, no matter what the time frame, it's what you want to see. And I'm already anticipating this to go back into a type 2 return. It's just a matter of fail this for another week or two. But you're coming up to this whole wedge deal. And once that busts, there's only one place for that to go. It's back to retest the pattern. Justin, Mana's the same thing. Mana and the rest of them, they're about running their limits. Here's Litecoin. Yes. That's Litecoin. Nice little bounce on the daily, weekly hitting some numbers. But there's the daily. You tell me. Is there a pattern? Yes. At what price? $99.50. Is there confirmation? Not really. Almost. Are you violating any trend lines? Let's see. Yeah, starting to. What's target 1? 78.89. Just talking through it. I'm really just trying to weigh the talk through the pattern. Again, we would be higher. If this is the blowout moon situation, we'd already be higher. And we're not. Even if I stretch out my trend line, try to fudge it. Tell me what it's doing. Yep, sure, Claire. Yeah, YFI. Same deal. That was a good one. Beautiful pattern. Beautiful. I mean, look at that daily. I know some people in here that was on that one. I wasn't on that one. We'd looked at that, but crypto can be an unfair beast. But that's a target 2 with confirmation, and it's the first confirmation we see in between target 1 and target 2. I think it's responding to 10,598. That's our target 2 objective. Even if you were still into that trade, you'd have to start tightening up your stops, your trend lines, because it's like this. And that's your primary uptrend. There's your accelerated uptrend. You can't continue or close above 10,600 or 11,000. That's about it for now. So that needs more time. It's not easy just to jump to that conclusion, but all of the elements of that being the end of the type 1 move for YFI are there. Yeah. And again, your best case scenario goes sideways. Probably roll back under 10,000, even if it's a super bullish deal. This is like Monero, weekly. There's some bearish on the daily, but the weekly time frame. Monero's a big butterfly. There you go. So Monero, I like this, but this is an example of another first thrust situation. First thrust after the downtrend. It's a type 2. It is a type 2 on the butterfly, but you couldn't follow through, and it's going to require another shot. The yellow dot generated 2 weeks ago, and you're trading 149 at the moment. The retest is under 135, maybe as low as that 110, 115 area. But that would be a great spot after the violation of the downtrend. And bigger things could be expected, but that's to the right of where you are currently. It'd be more like, again, go to March, late March, April, and 30 more days. A few more weeks minimum, but it's under 135. I don't know what AMV is. Sorry. AMV, I'll pop it up. Is that a crypto? No, I don't know what that is. We looked at crude oil a little earlier. No, actually we didn't. We looked at natural gas. Let me finish up on crypto by looking at Coinbase. Because Coinbase is getting slammed at 70 bucks. And I'm starting to wonder if that's it for now. I mean, if crypto, if Coinbase is not going to bust through, it's in this long-term trend, consolidation zone, after a long-term downtrend. But it keeps on hitting resistance at that prior shark at 79 bucks every time it does. So, maybe you have to come all the way back down under 50 again on Coinbase to basically retest one more time. It sure looks like you are. I mean, it's this wedge thing that's not able to resolve itself. It will very soon. You leak out to the downside the obvious retest. Again, a situation where there's more time at stake. And that's lower. J Trader saying crude oil at 77 seems to be focused. I don't. We'll get into that Tuesday. I think everything that, if you want to have some kind of larger macro assessment and you're not day trading, you have to look at what happens in the 10-year yield. And if that explodes after today, because again, we started that with today, that's the big deal. Go back there. For everything, for crypto, for stocks. I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but I'm saying the shift is going to focus risk off real fast after today if this thing does not find some resistance up here. And we don't have any confirmation, certainly. Not even close, but that's the big chart. And look, this is for oil, this is for precious metals, crypto, across the board commodities. If this thing really begins to blast off in the next 5 sessions, something larger is going on. And the way that it's getting there is fairly impressive. You have yet to roll over. There is not one single 3-bar breakdown. It's just a pattern of 3-bar breakouts. That one and that one, that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yesterday was 6 and today's 7. That's strong price action, and those are the rates. Okay, that's interest rates. That's not price. That's why you're going to see probably a cooling off. And we accelerate into, we come back Tuesday and we're 420, 430, 440. Forget about it. All the traders are looking at that, so you guys should too. And the rest of it, for these other opportunities, they'll come at a later time. You'll get the type 2 full retests. And I said, look, we looked at some of them today. We'll look at more of them on Tuesday. But just know it really started Tuesday or yesterday. And whatever we close today and tomorrow, then you're into it. And that early January run, it's done. All right, I'll give away one more book for the people that have hung out the whole time, a V3. Who wants a Harmonic Trading Volume 3? Also, everyone, get over to harmonictrader.com. All of the books are free PDFs. Get with the TradingView pull-up program. Free trial. Send your username to hbc@sr-analyst.com. And then get on the Discord. You can ask us questions. And check out these cheat sheets. Okay, but get on the Discord, click on that link. That's number 4. APV, you win. V3, you got to go over to the Discord, send a note to Miss Stephanie. Thursday's always giveaway Thursday, so come on back next week. We'll give away some more books and memberships. Until then, we'll see you Tuesday, but the laser focus goes from daily to hourly on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Go get them. We'll see you then.